Good morning, children. Today we are going to discuss about another important concept in this circulatory system, that is regulation of cardiac activity. What is the topic name? Regulation of cardiac activity. So our heart, you know very well, it will be self-regulating like that we heard. So SA node to AV node to bundle of is to Purkinje fibers. The impulse will be travel and it will be helpful for contraction and relaxation of the heart, like that we heard, right? So in this concept, what we will say, some more things are there, some more actions are there for regulating heart. So now we are going to discuss about regulation of the cardiac activity. The type of heart in humans is myogenic. What kind of heart? The type of heart in the humans is myogenic heart. Myogenic heart means what? Made with muscles. Which muscles? Cardiac muscles. So myogenic heart. Because of the heartbeat, because the heartbeat originates from the muscles of the heart. Because the heartbeat, from where it will become? From the muscles of the heart. Very easy. Heartbeat originates from the muscles of the heart. Next, another important, the nervous and endocrine system work together with the paracrine signals, metabolic activity. So this is very, very important. Which systems? Nervous system and endocrine system work together. Nervous system, you know very well. Nervous system means what? Neurons, brain, spinal cord. You know that is a different, those are different components are there in the nervous system. Now you can consider here in the nervous system, brain and nerves. Endocrine system means hormones. Work together with paracrine signals, metabolic activity related, to influence the diameter of the arterioles and alter the blood flow. This is important. To alter the blood flow. So, because of this, what you call endocrine system work together with paracrine signals to influence the diameter of the arterioles, so, and alter the blood flow. So, diameter means you know very well. So, especially diameter of arterioles and alter the blood flow. Next, the neural control is achieved through autonomic nervous system. The neural control is achieved through autonomic nervous system. Number one, you know, sympathetic nervous system, parasympathetic nervous system. What's the meaning of sympathetic and what is the parasympathetic? So it is, one will be increases the rate of reaction, another will be decreases the rate of reaction or decreases the activity. Okay, so one will be increase the activity of organ, one will be decrease the activity of organ. So fight or flight, sympathetic. Okay, sleep or rest or digest is parasympathetic. Like that, the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system mainly regulates the heart. So the neural control is achieved through which one? Autonomic nervous system. You know, autonomic nervous system is divided into sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous systems. Now, sympathetic neurons release the norepinephrine. Norepinephrine, sympathetic. And adrenal medulla release the epinephrine. Norepinephrine and epinephrine. Okay, so the two hormones bind to the beta. Okay, very very important. What is that? Beta adrenergic receptors. Beta adrenergic receptors. Beta adrenergic receptors, and increase the heart rate. Once again, I'm telling this point. The sympathetic neurons release the norepinephrine. Okay, epinephrine, norepinephrine, you know very well. And adrenal medulla releases, the adrenal gland medulla is there or not? So outer cortex and inner medulla. It releases the epinephrine. So epinephrine or norepinephrine. Both will be what they will do. The two hormones bind to the beta androgenic receptors. What you call? Beta androgenic receptors, and increase the heart rate. It increases the heart rate. This is important. The parasympathetic neuron secretes acetylcholine. Okay, so the parasympathetic neurons secretes what here? Acetylcholines. Okay, acetylcholine that binds the muscarinic. What do you call that one? Muscarinic. Okay, muscarinic receptors, and decreases the heart rate. What will happen? Decreases the heart rate. These are the points you should have to remember. The parasympathetic neuron secretes the acetylcholine, cholinergic, that binds to the muscarinic receptors, muscarinic receptors, and decreases the heartbeat. Decreases the heartbeat. Here what? Sympathetic neurons releases the norepinephrine and adrenal medulla. Releases epinephrine. These two hormones bind to the beta androgenic receptors and increases the heart rate. The parasympathetic neuron secretes the acetylcholine that binds to the muscarinic receptors and decreases the heartbeat. One will be increasing, one will be decreasing. Epinephrine and norepinephrine increasing. Acetylcholine decreasing the heartbeat. Next, vasopressin, very important antidiuretic hormone. You know very well vasopressin, antidiuretic hormone, and angiotensin 2. Okay, these are the hormones which are involved in the regulation of the kidneys, results in vasoconstriction, while natriuretic peptide. Okay, natriuretic factor. What do you call natriuretic factor? Very important. This is peptide promotes a vasodilation. Okay, vagus nerve is a parasympathetic nerve that supplies the atrium, especially the SA node, the AV node. So once again, I am telling this point you should have to remember. Vasopressin, antidiuretic hormone, and angiotensin 2. This is also hormone. So these two hormones involved in the regulation of the kidneys results in vasoconstriction, while natriuretic peptide promotes the anti-natriuretic factor is dilation. Either the contraction of the vessels, relaxation of vessels. And vagus nerve is a parasympathetic nerve that supplies the atrium, especially the SA and what you called AV node. Okay, supplies the atrium. Very important. Vagus nerve is a parasympathetic nerve that supplies the atrium, especially the SA and AV nodes. Okay, this is one more important point. So here what? Vasopressin, constriction of the blood vessels. Natriuretic factor, relaxation of dilation of the blood vessel, arterioles. And vagus nerves are the parasympathetic nerve that supplies the atrium, especially the SA node and AV node. So like this, helpful for the what you called regulation of the heart. One is increasing, one is decreasing. Some hormones are constricting the arteriole, some hormones are dilating the heart what you called arteries. Like that, because of that, the heartbeat is working. Constriction, relaxation, dilation is going on. Okay, children, like this, the important concepts are there. Once again, children, the regulation of the cardiac activity we are discussing. It's a myogenic heart. Heartbeat originates from the muscles of the heart. That's why it's myogenic heart. The nervous and endocrine systems work together with the paracrine signals, metabolic activity, to influence the diameter of the arterioles and alter the blood flow. The neuronal control. Okay, very important. This is the neuronal control is achieved through autonomic nervous system and sympathetic, parasympathetic. Autonomic divide into very well. So sympathetic neurons release the norepinephrine and adrenal medulla release the epinephrine. The two hormones bind to beta androgenic receptors and increase the heart rate. The parasympathetic neuron secretes the acetylcholine that binds to muscarinic receptors and decrease the heartbeat. Vasopressin and angiotensin 2 involved in the regulation of the kidneys results in vasoconstriction, while natriuretic peptide promotes the vasodilation. Remember these two. Vasoconstriction by which one? Vasopressin and angiotensin 2 hormones. And which one is vasodilation? Anti-natriuretic peptide factors promotes the vasodilation. So from heart it will be. So vagus nerve is a parasympathetic nerve. You know very well vagus nerve also helpful for atrium, especially the SA node and AV nodes. Vagus nerve also helpful for regulation of the heart. Next, disorders of the circulatory system. We are going to discuss about disorders. So the disorders of the circulatory system, number one, hypertension. What is hypertension? This is a very important, it's a most common problem, circulatory disease. Which one? The disorders of the circulatory system we are discussing. The most common, we call the most common disease, circulatory disease is which one? The most common is hypertension. Okay, disorders of the circulatory system, the hypertension. Okay, hypertension is the most common circulatory system problem, disease. So generally our normal blood pressure is more than, okay, normal blood pressure how much? You know very well, 120/80, right? mmHg. Okay, so common, that is the most common. But unfortunately, in case when the diastolic pressure exceeds, so 120 is the systolic pressure, 80 is the diastolic pressure. So here 150 systolic pressure, 90 diastolic pressure, in the sense that will be called, what do you call it? The hypertension. What do you call the tension is called? That is called hypertension. What's the problem of this hypertension? Uncontrolled hypertension. What I am saying, the uncontrolled hypertension may damages the heart, brain and kidneys. So heart, brain and kidneys, these all are damaged by the which one? The uncontrolled hypertension. Okay, uncontrolled hypertension damages the which one? The heart, brain, kidneys. Kidney will be failed, brain will be failed, heart will be failed. So too much dangerous that is. So we should have to reduce the blood pressure. Next, coronary heart disease. What is that one? Coronary heart disease. This is a very important another concept. Coronary heart disease occurs when the arteries are lined by atheroma. Lined by atheroma. What is this atheroma? Okay, this is important word. Atheroma. So atheroma is, okay, atheroma is contains, what atheroma contains? Come on, observe very carefully. Cholesterol, fibers, dead muscles and platelets. Okay, what is called? Platelets, and is termed as so the buildup on atheroma contains cholesterol, fibers, dead muscles and platelets, and is termed as atherosclerosis. What's that condition is called? Termed as what? Atherosclerosis. What is atheroma? Atheroma means, you know that cholesterol, fibers, dead muscles, platelets, and is termed as atherosclerosis. What will happen? Atherosclerosis condition. The cholesterol rich atheroma forms plaques in the inner lining of the arteries. Finish. Plaques in the inner lining of the arteries. Make them less elastic and reduce the blood flow. Plaque grows within the artery and tends to form blood clot. The plaque is growing, that's it. So it will stop the flow of the blood, reduce the flow of the blood. And plaque grows within the artery and it tends to form, what will be formed? Blood clot. So forming coronary thrombus. Thrombus in a coronary results in the heart attack. Finish. Coronary in the thrombus, what is called thrombus in the coronary artery results in what you call heart attack. Once again, I'm telling to you this point. So coronary heart disease. When the arteries are lined by atheroma means what? Cholesterol, fibers, dead muscles and platelets, and is termed as atherosclerosis. It's a cholesterol-rich atheroma forms plaques in the inner lining of the arteries, make them less elastic and reduce the blood flow. Plaque grows within the artery and tends to form blood clot, forming coronary thrombus. Thrombus in a coronary artery results in the heart attack. That's it. You know very well, when the coronary artery is blocked with cholesterol or clot, or because of this cholesterol clot, the blood cannot move freely to heart muscles. Then heart muscles not reaching the oxygenated blood, in the sense heart muscles will not perform the work. Then heart muscles will be die. What you called cannot send work, cannot perform the work. That function leads to that improper balance. What you called function leads to heart attack. What do you call the problem? Heart attack. Very, very dangerous, sudden problem that is. Next, another important problem is a stroke. Stroke is a condition when the blood vessels in the brain burst. Very, very dangerous. This is also. Stroke is a condition the blood vessels in the brain bursts. Okay, that is called brain hemorrhage, or when there is a block in the artery that supplies to the brain. So what I am telling should listen very carefully. Blood vessels in the brain burst because of the stroke, but is called, that condition also called brain hemorrhage. Or when there is a block in the artery that supplies the brain. Okay, so blood supplying artery is there or not to brain. When that artery blocked, or any atherosclerosis or thrombus formed, the part of the brain tissue that is supplied by this damaged artery dies due to lack of oxygen. So oxygen not supplying, the part will be die. That leads to cerebral infarction. What is the problem name is? Cerebral infarction. So very, very dangerous situation. So when the blood is starts supplying oxygen through blood, oxygen will reach the brain. So when the oxygenated blood not reaching the brain, or when the arteries stops the blood pumping the blood, oxygenated blood, then that blood oxygen will not be there in the muscles or in the brain. When the brain not receiving the oxygen, that's it. The brain particular part or the particular location of the brain will be die. That is leads to what you called the damaged arteries dies due to the lack of oxygen. So that leads to cerebral infarction. So blood vessels in the brain burst. It's a stroke, brain hemorrhage, or when there is a block in the artery that supplies the brain, atherosclerosis or thrombus, the part of the brain tissue that is supplied by this damaged artery dies. The tissue dies, and due to lack of oxygen, that is called cerebral infarction. What is called cerebral infarction? Very critical condition. The patient will be die on the spot because very sensitive organs, the heart and brain, and very useful organs, heart and brain, for performing the functions. So these are all the things you should have to follow and you should have to remember. So what are the neat bits in this case? What are the neat bits? Number one, norepinephrine and two hormones bind to which one? Beta androgenic receptors and increase the heart rate. That is the first bit. Next, acetylcholine that binds to muscarine receptors and decrease the heartbeat. That is the second bit. Next, vasopressin angiotensin involved in the regulation of the kidneys results in vasoconstriction, while natriuretic peptide, vasoconstriction by vasopressin and angiotensin. Vasoconstriction, that is important. Next, natriuretic factor, natriuretic peptide, vasodilation. Like this, constriction, dilation you have. And vagus nerve also, parasympathetic nerve, supplies the natrium, especially the SA node and AV node. So vagus nerve also regulates the heartbeat. Hypertension 120/80 is normal. 150/90 hypertension damages the heart and brain. So atheroma means what? Cholesterol, fibers, dead muscles, and platelets, and is termed as atherosclerosis in the arteries. Like that, the important bits are there in this concept.